Years have passed since the defeat of the mighty Horde. The Warsong survivors have been roaming the wilderness evading capture. The Orcish homeworld of Draenor was torn apart by the arcane energies and was named Outland. The Orcs on Draenor have been growing in numbers and trying to survive on a dying world. Sometime after the portals closed, a pitlord named Magtheridon found his way to Draenor and united the remaining Orc clans under his banner. He then proceeded to make all of Outland his own by enslaving or killing most of the natives. Back on Azeroth, the majority of the Horde forces were in internment camps with the exception of a few scattered clans. One of these clans was the fearsome Dragonmaw Clan that had provided the Horde with red dragons during the Second War. You see, when the Alliance pushed the Horde back to the Dark Portal, they freed a good chunk of Dwarves who had hidden underground and in the mountains of Khaz Modan. But not all the Dwarves were free. See, the majority of the region was still controlled by the Dragonmaw Clan, who had dominion over the Great Red Dragons. Using Grim Batol as their mountain base of operations, they launched countless raids on nearby farms and villages. A former Orc warlock, Necro Skullcrusher, was using an artifact called the Demon Soul to keep the Dragon Queen Alexstrasza subdued and forced her to make more Dragonkin for him to abuse. With this power, he hoped to one day revitalize and take over the Horde. He would rule the land with an army of red dragons at his command. Unfortunately, his plan was thwarted by the most uncanny alliance to date. Deathwing, Ronin Redhair, Varisa Windrunner, and Falstad Wildhammer. The Dragonmaw were slaughtered, and the few who remained fled into the foothills of Khaz Modan. After that, the rest of the dwarves were freed, and they came out of hiding and were able to live in peace once more. A few more years passed, and the bulk of the Horde on Azeroth remained in internment camps. They became lethargic and dull until an enigmatic young orc combined the forces of the Warsong and the Frostwolf clans and began to free them. His name was Thrall. Raised by humans and alienated from his people much of his life, Thrall was eager to free and reconnect with them. He, alongside Grom Hellscream and Orgrim Doomhammer, created a new horde from the ashes of the old. They stormed the internment camps where they were keeping the orcs and used the power of shamanism to show that the horde calls to them once more. Though significantly smaller than the original horde, they were growing. Sadly, while freeing an internment camp, the war chief of the horde, Orgrim Doomhammer, was slayed by a human knight. It was an attack from behind, but lethal nonetheless. His dying words were to Thrall, who would wear his armor and use his weapon as well as carry the title of War Chief of the Horde. While roaming the wilderness, Thrall encountered Medivh in the form of a nameless prophet. Medivh saw the coming of the Scourge and the Burning Legion, so he advised Thrall to sail his people west to the forgotten lands of Kalimdor. Thrall took his advice to heart and did just that. On his journey, he sailed through the Maelstrom and had to take shelter somewhere. There was a nearby island full of jungle trolls led by a witch doctor named Sen'jin. They called themselves the Darkspear tribe. They welcomed the Horde presence, but they had a few problems of their own. The first was that there were humans attacking them along with a sea witch named Zar'jira, using Murloc lackeys to take trolls prisoners so that she could sacrifice them. The Horde quickly laid waste to the humans and were able to hold off the witch's forces long enough for them to flee the island. Unfortunately, a casualty in these battles was Sen'jin, who was killed by a crafty little Murloc. But in his last moments, Sen'jin had a vision that Thrall and the Horde would protect the Darkspear tribe and lead them into an age of glory. With Sen'jin dead, someone had to take over, and that duty fell to his son, Vol'jin. He pledged his allegiance to the Horde and they sailed off. But as they were sailing away from the island, Zar'jira sent a spell called a Dark Tide after them. And that just sounds like it would be trouble when you're in the middle of the ocean on a wooden ship. And as such, they arrived in Kalimdor with heavy casualties and completely totaled ships. Landing with only a few Horde warriors, Thrall searched for more up and down the coast. Eventually, the Horde found most of their forces except for Grom and his clan, so Thrall took whatever forces he had with him and started searching for them. While trudging through the coast, they found the Tauren and the Centaur. After killing a group of Centaur, Cairn Bloodhoof, chieftain of the Tauren, offered to help the Orcs and told them of an oracle that they could go see to find their destiny. To find him, they would have to head north, but Thrall spotted a large group of Centaur heading north. Upon learning this, Cairn became alarmed because it seemed that his village was to the north and the army of Centaur meant trouble for his people. So he asked Thrall and the Horde to help, and they were happy to do it if the Tauren in turn showed them where to find the oracle. Following the advice of Cairn, the Horde started heading north to the peaks of Stone Talon Mountain. There, Thrall finally found Grom and the Warsong clan. Grom was attacking humans, and this angered Thrall because Thrall wanted to stay away from the humans as much as possible. He didn't leave a hostile land to come to a new one and start a war. So, he ordered Grom to control himself and not attack. But Grom could not stay his blade. This bloodlust added to Thrall's anger, and he ordered Grom and his clan to go north and establish a base there using the lumber found in the immense forest. The Horde continued looking for the Oracle, and after regrettably fighting a small human encampment who seemed to also be looking for the Oracle, Thrall and the Horde reached the peak. Inside, Thrall met the leader of the humans on Kalimdor, Jaina Proudmoore, as well as the Oracle who turned out to be Medivh. The once great mage explained the situation of Azeroth and proposed the unthinkable. The Horde and the Alliance must work together, for it had seemed the Burning Legion had returned to Azeroth.